Hi, I'm Jim.
I'm Brenda.
We're Hardiness Approach. In this video, we're going to be talking about
Holler Homestead, Homesteady, and heroes.
lots of heroes.
Lots of heroes. We have learned over the last 2.5 years that the YouTube channels provide heroes for us in so many different ways. And we're going to teach you about some of the ways that we've been taught.
One of the benefits that we've been able to get from all of our heroes, friends on YouTube, is the friendships that have been established. We can have not seen these folks for a year, and it's like all renewed again when we get back together.
But each one of them has something to teach, and we've learned from these opportunities that we have had to go visit them, to watch them on their videos, and
to have them visit us.
So we're going to show you some of the lessons that we have learned. All right, come with us and see.
It's going to be fun!
This is Connie's little nursery, and they were watching Living Traditions one day. Well, watch a lot of Living Traditions. And they came up with this amazing little incubator for nursery plants.
Simple. Okay.
Normally our starts are setting all along here, but at night when it's going below freezing, and last night it went to 18, we put them in here, and underneath is a light bulb that's in there, and it keeps them nice and warm and toasty. So that is something we learned. Actually, we didn't. Connie and Tim learned from Living Traditions, from having community with YouTube.
Last night, as Renda mentioned, the weather folks are saying it was 18. We, on our thermometer, saw 22. And the sun's been up for a couple of hours. I want to show you it's 70 in this hoop house right now. So those of you who have hoop houses, you understand and you know that. Those of you who don't, you wonder how good can they be. What I don't know is what the temperature got down to in here last night. I'm sure it wasn't all the way to 22, but you can see in no time at all it's warmed up. Great situation for the plants to be growing in. We're excited about it. As you can see, Renda's being the busy beaver that she always is, but she's getting the plants out. It's warm enough out here now. Get the sunlight going for them, which is what they need, and so they'll have a great day after a cold night and continue to do what they need to do to get started.
One of our heroes is Trish and Jonah at Willow Creek.
And all their children.
One skill that I learned from following Trish was how to sprout wheat.
Oh yeah.
And this week I sprouted spelt, millet, barley, and wheat all together using her method, and it was amazing because I just have this wheat now to grind up.
You gonna show a picture of your results?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I am showing a picture of my results.
Okay.
And now we're going to be able to utilize it and make our bread with sprouted bread, which is so much better.
So I've not watched the videos, and I don't know what we do with these kernels that have been sprouted to turn them into bread. I'm excited about this.
Well, all I did was I filled the jars with water, and I let them set for just a couple hours, and I drained them a few times, and then I put the water in, turned them upside down like she does, and let them drain, and then I'd add a little bit more water and let them drain. And I was shocked at within 24 hours I had little sprouts. Really? Little tiny sprouts. You don't want to see things growing out, you just want to see little tiny sprouts. And then She puts hers in a dehydrator. I didn't have mine here yet, so I laid mine out on the table. But I wouldn't have known to do that without Trish.
And now that we have them sprouted in the jars, what are we going to do with them?
Grind them and make them into bread.
Grind them.
Grind them.
Okay.
There you go. We have 3 people that we learned how to do chickens from. Joel Salatin,
Yes,
the
that's where it
granddaddy
started.
of the chickens.
That's where it started.
John Siskovich, which taught us how to make our chicken tractors, which I'm showing. And Justin Rhodes, the chicken ninja permaculture master. I didn't say it quite right, but y'all know who I mean.
Didn't roll off the tongue quite in the same way.
So we're in the Freedom Rangers pen right now, and this is where we're doing ours with Connie and Tim, and it's working amazing. But we've used the chicken tractors several times when we were in green grass country.
Yes.
And we would have never known how to do that without our heroes on the internet.
Yes. Yes. One other amazing bit of information, valuable information, beneficial in so many ways information. We learned about the BCS tractor from J.M. Fortier and Curtis Stone.
And that's
J.M. said it was a game changer for him, and Curtis wouldn't be able to do near what he does without the. I mean, they don't use it every time, but when you need it, it makes the job happen.
well, and they are also the ones who taught us about the 30-inch wide beds, which we love and will never go back to doing anything else, because they're amazing beds. Because I can jump over them, and you can't do that with 4-foot beds. And you sometimes you just need to get to the other side. In fact, I had stepped over one that we had a low tunnel on yesterday, and I could do it.
Yep. Well, so many of the tools and the materials that are being sold are matched up to the 30-inch beds, so it helps when you're trying to do things. And then when you do in increments of like 25 or 50 or 100 foot, then materials match up, and the width, everything, it works very well.
Ours that we have done in our daughter's backyard are 100 foot. The ones we're doing here are 50 foot. I learned how to ferment from watching Off-Grid with Doug and Stacy.
Not only how to, but why to.
Why to,
Okay.
how to.
Today we're with Doug and Stacy.
At the Mother Earth News Fair
In Oregon,
absolutely.
Albany,
That's
Oregon.
But you can make your own homemade probiotic by making fermented foods, and then that way it enhances the nutrition of it, and you're getting the beneficial bacteria, because the human body, inside you have over 1,000 different strains of bacteria in your gut. So that's why people want to eat the same thing. I'm going to get the same yogurt all the time, over and over and over, and it's going to get used to the same bacteria.
Right.
You need lots of different
variety.
things. So
Absolutely.
that's why I ferment like fermented drinks, which we call kombucha. There's other ones you can do like beet kvass and some other things. I do fermented lemonade. And then I like to try to do all different types of fermented vegetables. If I do carrots, if I do beets, or if I do, like peppers. It just depends. Kimchi or sauerkraut. And I try to do different things. So maybe one day we'll have this one and another one, because you want different types.
So it's really another way to extend your harvest.
Right, and that's the main
enhance it,
thing.
but extend
Right.
it. So
I had some failures. I have a video named My Fermenting Failures.
we learn failure to failure.
But now we totally understand the importance of having fermented food in your life and having it every meal, and being able to, in fact, when we were at the Mother Earth News Fair and we met with Doug and Stacy there, she taught us that she takes her sardines, and now we carry sardines with us. So,
And her salt.
and her salt and butter
Yes.
to restaurants.
Those items that are never what you want them to be when you go out to eat.
So that's what we learned from Doug and Stacy, besides a myriad of other things.
Yes. This is Tim and Connie's, I can do it that direction, garden area that they put together this last year. And as you can see over here, there's still some onions, and I think that you can't see them, but there's some potatoes down there. But they did the covered bed, the rows, the whole thing, the watering system, and there were many things growing in here. A lot of food came out of here.
I bet you they just planted,
I think so.
which we learned from Justin and Rebecca, that you just plant. When they grew their basil in their bus, And yesterday, you saw in the video that Jim and Tim planted garlic in here.
Well, earlier in the day, this was plants. Still, the frost got to them, okay, but they were finished. We pulled them all up, and before the ground had even had a chance to realize it was gone,
You just planted?
we just planted again. And now it's loaded with
Garlic.
garlic. Lots of garlic. During this past year, we were on the receiving end of a lot of love from many, many, many of our friends, our heroes. It's hard to talk about it sometimes. As I think about it, it really brings up the emotions.
We have incredible humanitarian service that have happened to us from Roots and Refuge. From Holler Homestead. Yes,
I tell you.
we are gonna dance.
So echoey here.
It's so solid!
Wow.
Everybody
No
join
slumps.
hands.
We're gonna do like a.
All four of us.
There we go.
From Baker's Acres.
And friends that came along. What was, I'm trying to remember the other guy's name.
The Grateful Sunites came.
Yes, they
And
did.
I didn't get to see them, but they came.
They were there. They were there.
And we had one of Jess and Maya's friends come up from Arkansas. Dan, see, I wasn't there. And 180 degrees from average. They
Came a long way to help.
came a long way to
Yeah.
help. And so
Thank you, Ethan.
the humanitarian that we received from our YouTube channel friends, we could never have imagined when we pulled in our camera that first day and started making a video.
Yes.
Just incredible, incredible heartfeltness.
Definitely
a
our
word?
yeah, it is now. Definitely our heroes.
One other part of the homestead community that has touched our hearts is the people that have crawled into our hearts. Besides the ones that we've mentioned, Mary Ann Lawrence surviving the 80s, we will never have a video come out where we don't miss her comments. As you all know, she passed away this last month and a half, within the last couple of months, and just a void in our hearts, but oh, what an incredible viewer she was to us. And she sent us lemons, and they made things for us, and homemade cards, and Tom made wooden sculptures. And then one other person that's really got into our hearts, and we've just made a few comments back and forth, is Homesteady. Austin K. We really love that family, and they just lost one of their beloved goats this week. I have not been able to get them out of our head and our hearts, and we realize that these people become our family and our outward community that allow us to move on and keep going. It's
Well, what's
amazing.
wonderful, because many of them are making videos on a regular basis, we can check in with them and refresh our memory and rekindle those feelings of love that we felt from them and that we have for them.
And we just want you to know that when you go through hard times, we really do pray for you. We really do feel your prayers for us, and it's been amazing. Last but certainly not least
Certainly not least, my goodness.
is our viewers. We receive your comments, we read them, we love them, and once
We
in a
talk
while,
about them, we reread them.
and once in a while we receive a comment that changes our lives. And we are standing on the property of Connie and Tim, who were our followers. We didn't even know them.
Well, she's not the commenter kind.
And she made a comment one day to us, And here we are living on their property. Never when we made our first video would we have thought that. So we want you to understand how important the YouTube community is in our lives. You all are our heroes. We adore you, we need you, we love you.
We have a plan. Well, it's not a plan yet.
We have an idea.
We have an idea we're turning into a plan, and we've talked to a few of our friends about it, and they're in as well. They think it's a great idea.
Trish with Willow Creek, Kathleen with Mama Grows,
And Connie and Tim.
and us. So we are going to put together what we are going to call the Western
Homesteading.
Rendezvous. Western Homesteading Rendezvous. It's going to be next year, and it's going to be here in the Great Basin at the foot of the Ruby Mountains. And it's going to incorporate a gathering of homesteaders on the western side of the United States that include Colorado and all the way over here to California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. Who am I forgetting?
More can come, but
Anybody else can come, but we're centralizing.
that's the group that we're focusing on because we have in common an environment, a climate, similarities between all of us. Now you get Oregon and Washington, there's some differences.
They got some green grass.
On the eastern side though, it's much more like it is
High
here.
desert, and all the challenges that we have with that.
Yes.
And so we are going to put together a Western Homesteading Rendezvous, and that's what it's going to be called. We will let you know when it's going to be. We're going to be able to have places here where there can be camping and all kinds of things that we're going to be doing right here on the property. So stay tuned. This is what community is all about. Thank you for joining us today.
See you again later.
Bye-bye.